Welcome, foolish mortals. Do you ever feel like you don't belong on Earth? Do you actually feel like you were born on another planet? Because Michael sure did. And Michael decided to send out a message to the galaxies and create a whole can of worms. Can of Worms was released in 1999. It is another really early Disney Channel original movie. And we don't have anyone too particularly special in this cast. A lot of the people that were in here didn't really do a lot after this film. But Adam Wiley is back. He was in Under Wraps and he is also in this. He plays Mike's best friend. And our lead actor is Michael Schulman, who plays Mike Pillsbury. None of the rest of the characters, we don't know their last name, but we do know this family, and he is called Mike Pillsbury various times.
Mike Pillsbury.
Our love interest is played by Erica Christensen, and Andrew DeCoy is our bully Jay. Those are our main characters. Like I said, no one really outstanding, but they do a good job for this film. Mike Pillsbury doesn't feel like he belongs on this planet, so he ends up transporting a message to the galaxy asking for these aliens to come and get him and to take them to a planet.
I'm being held against my will. My potential to realize a happy and fulfilled life nullified by the ignorant and cruel indigenous population of Earth. You must save me. Take me away from this. Desperately in need of your assistance. Mike Pillsbury.
And it happens. He doesn't think it will, but it does. And they open an entire can of worms.
Mike Pillsbury, you have opened up a can of worms. Even
though it is a weird concept, and it does get very strange at times, especially because they use puppets as aliens.
Real soon. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Stupid.
You ready?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
hey,
Well.
hey. Hey, hold my eye. Hey, Steve. What happened?
It's still very witty and interesting for the most part. There is some dialogue that is very terrible. For example, there's a whole conversation between Mike and Caitlin about him freaking out, and he has this knockoff Slimer in his room eating, and he's very disgusted by it. But instead of saying, okay, it's not a good time, can I talk to you later, type of situation, I know you want to say something serious to me, he's just like, oh yeah, keep talking, and then continues to keep getting disgusted by his preacher.
I'm so sorry. It seems like you need to talk to me. I'm sorry. It's my fault, but what happened wasn't your fault.
Disgusting.
And that is very off-putting because it's so unrealistic in the sense of the dialogue. Like, obviously the entire scene is unrealistic, but the dialogue alone and the conversation and the way it goes is very awkward and cringy. There's other times that they actually have some really fun jokes and they're very humorous about it. And some of the aliens are really hilarious. We have a whole agent alien that comes down and is trying to get him to sign a contract. And I really enjoyed that scene as well.
Will he return? Will he find love? Redemption! All stories must have redemption.
Stop it!
Huh?
Alright. What do you want?
If we marry with the proper creative elements, I think your life has a good chance of being a springboard for a weekly series!
And I really like Barnabas. He's our dog that can talk. He's adorable. The sad thing is the dog is now dead because this movie's almost 20 years old, so that dog is completely dead, but he was really sweet, so thank you for your credits, Barnabas. I know it wasn't the real dog's name, but it was a very great addition to our cast. They end up having an entire trope of aliens come down.
You need a friend, Pillsbury. Tell you you're making a terrible mistake in leaving planet Earth. Because I'd like to give you the exclusive franchise to market the one, the only, Charmonica!
Until our collector alien comes down and snatches away one of the kids. Then they have to go on this whole rampage to get him back and travel across the universe. They find out that this collector has an entire collection of every single species on this planet.
Look!
Sonarchs are natives of the solar system, Betelgeuse. Their organic chemistry is silicon-based.
You might think that's original, but that seems very familiar.
My dear Gamora, how wonderful to meet in the flesh.
And even though Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie with the Collector, wasn't released until 2014, the comics had the Collector back in 1966. So it could be intentional, or they're knocking off Marvel at this point, because that's very, very similar.
The Hansels are natives of the star system, Pegasus. They are a gentle people with a long history of peaceful cooperation.
They're just like in your story, Mike.
Very similar. Too similar. Otherwise, it's a pretty harmless film. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it was, especially because the beginning half of it was very weird and cringy, but I got invested into it and I did enjoy it a lot. And to me, it did feel like an extended Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, and I love that series. There's no relation between the two of them, but that's the direction I felt like it went in, and because it is late 90s, it had that type of same aesthetic to it. This was also based on a book by Kathy Mackle, and she also worked on the screenplay for this. Another interesting note is that the music was done by Mark Mothersbaugh, and he's a really famous composer, best known for his really wacky sense of music, especially with Rugrats, because that's the first introduction that I had to him. But he also worked on Thor Ragnarok as a composer, which again is really hilarious because we have reference to Collector in that film with the Grandmaster. It's too similar. I feel like this one overall is still very underrated. It's not perfect, but it was a movie for kids and it's very witty and whimsical, and they did a really great job with it. So I really recommend that you check it out. And we're going to continue tomorrow with Don't Look Under the Bed, so you can stay tuned. And as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.